Hello and welcome to Coding Tutorials. So last episode we talked about how to set up a basic HTML page. So go ahead and do that, or if you have last episode saved, continue on. And then we're going to start looking at paragraphs and headings today. Now this is just basic stuff to fill your website with. It's going to be the basic skeleton of your website. So a P, or paragraph tag, just starts a new line and it fills it with text. We can say this is a paragraph. And this is just going to start a new line full of text, and it's going to say this. So each time I do this, there's now 4 lines on the page looking just like this, except without the P tags, saying this is a paragraph. But now let's say we wanted to add, like, say a line break here. So it'd say this is a, and then on the next line a paragraph. But if you put the indent here, it's not going to register. It's just going to show that as this is a paragraph, because no matter how many lines you put or how many spaces, it's always viewed as one space in the eyes of a like a web browser. However, to do this, you put the BR tag, and this is one of those crazy tags, like doc type HTML, that doesn't have an end. It just has the beginning, because there's no attributes for it. So you just say BR, and that just creates a line break. So it just puts a break in, so this is a, and then on the next line, it'll say paragraph. And then one more thing. So headers, or paragraphs are cool, but we need to learn about headers, because they're what really separate parts of your website and show cool things. So header 1, so H1, is the largest and most important header. And then throughout the thing, we see things like H2. And so it goes all the way down to H6. And each one is decreasing in basically importance to your website, so it's a different size, and it gets smaller and smaller, but it's still all bigger than a P1. So let's look at this. Okay. Now, the last really important thing you're going to need to know for basic skeleton of your website is the HR function, which is basically just a horizontal line. So say after header 1, you wanted to have a horizontal line. Now this, like BR, doesn't have a close tab, just an opening tag, and it's just going to show like this. So let's take a look. So let's save this. Desktop as paragraphs. Okay, then let's put this down and open our paragraphs. Open with Google Chrome. And so what we see is paragraphs and headings. Now, header 1, remember, looked at this. Look at this on 1/2. So we saw, here's the title, and we see the title up here. And then, once the body starts, we see the first heading, and see how this is a bigger font than the paragraphs. And then, the HR, so this is the horizontal line, that's where this comes from. And then each of the paragraphs says this is a paragraph. But then you notice the second one, there's a line break in the middle. And each of these paragraphs is separated by a space. That's the paragraph function. Then header 2 is smaller, and then header 6 is the smallest. Now, the reason that header 6 is actually smaller than the paragraph is that in this case, the paragraph function is just set to follow whatever's after it. So header 1 is big, so that makes all the text big, which you would change when you're looking at CSS and all that. But what the headers really do is you can make them different sizes as you wish, but you make them larger than your default paragraph size, and that's what's really important, because they stand out different parts of your page. And that is all we have to look at today. So click on through, and we'll be talking about some other important things in HTML.